Hi, my name is Carrie. You might know me as K Warning or from my shop 8-Bit Stitch. Welcome back to my Flosstube. It's been a while, however, I was realizing that my videos were ending up being kind of short, so I thought maybe I should save my Flosstube for like once a month. I see a lot of channels that do that, and I feel like the episodes just end up having a little bit more content for you guys. I have a little more progress and just more things to show you in general. I know, shame on me. Maybe I should just stitch faster. How dare I not have enough free time? I wish I could just sit at home and stitch all day and then have a weekly Flosstube for you guys to show you all the things that I've created. In a perfect world, someday. So the great thing is I've got some new patterns to show you. I have new fabric to show you. I have some framed and finished pieces to show you, and also some progress on my happy little stitch along. I want to show you first some new Aida that I dyed. I've got just a straight up black 22 count, so I every year will stitch the names of my Twitch and Patreon subscribers, and this year, thank you so much, there were so many of you, I had to go smaller on my stitch counts. I wanted to do it on 22 count and realized it's near impossible to find black 22 count Aida, so I had some white cotton 22 count and decided to dye it myself. I did have to throw it in the dye twice because I didn't like it. Kind of came out gray the first time, so I threw it back in. That's kind of the great thing with dyeing black Aida is if it's not dark enough, just do it again. It's great. So I will probably start stitching up some names today. I'm shooting for maybe 2 or 3 names a day to try and like bust it out. We'll see how I do, because I think last year I didn't finish until August and I wanted to be finished in February, and then now here we are in February of 2021 and I haven't even started. Goals. And while I was dyeing up that black Aida, I did dye up some black sparkly Aida. This is 18 count. I kind of go back and forth between 18 count and 14 count. It kind of depends on what I've got in stock at the moment. So I do have quite a few pieces of this dyed up, and these will be going on my Etsy shop. Grab it while you can. They go pretty quickly. So I'll probably, once these sell out, get some 14 count and continue the process. I really would love to stock up on a large amount of this. I think my long-term goal would be to get 18 count, 14 count by the yard and do some various colors. Like, I think it would be great to do black, some other solid colors, some jar dye, and have a large variety of sparkly Aida in my shop. But these by the yard pieces, are pretty pricey. So I feel like I can only kind of do these in small batches. Goal eventually, larger batches. And I also have some new jar dyed Aida. So this I was trying to recreate the Galaxy Aida that I had before. It's giving me a little bit of problems, and probably because I started with a dye that was not RIT dye. So I had this really pretty like pastel fairy type look, and then I threw it in some black dye and hated it. Then I kind of started over with magenta RIT dye, and then it was very pink, and then I threw it in with some navy, and then it wasn't dark enough, and finally I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it one more try. I put it in with some more navy, and I like how it turned out. It's not quite what I had thought it would be, but it is very pretty. So it's kind of like a magenta midnight sky type look. So this is 18 count. I've got a few pieces of this, and these will be available on my shop. And who knows, if they don't really fly off the shelf, I might throw them into some more black dye, but the more you do steps on steps on steps, the more possibility there is to like ruin it and get disappointed. But I think it's really pretty as it is. I need to stop touching it. So that is all of the Aida that I have dyed recently. Onto some new patterns that I have available. So this first pattern was originally available on my Patreon. I have a Patreon where you can subscribe for monthly exclusive patterns. These patterns are available at a lowered, reduced price, and then I release them the next month on my shop. So if you are subscribed to my Patreon, you can get patterns like this for a reduced price of $4, where they usually sell for $6 on my shop once they've launched. This was my January pattern. If you follow me on Instagram, you may know the long story on this pattern, but I'm super excited to finally have this out of my brain and onto my shop. The second pattern that I have available is this guy here. I have been asked a lot for a pattern that does incorporate crochet and knitting in the same pattern. And finally I had somebody reach out to me and commission me for something and ended up making this pattern out of the finished commission. And I hope that those of you who enjoy the yarn arts will love this pattern, especially those of you who are multi-craftual. Me personally, I'm just a crocheter. Can't knit for the life of me, but kudos to those of you who can do both. And maybe check out my Patreon. I've got some great stuff coming up this year. All right, so now we've got the progress on the Happy Little Stitch Along. This is really the piece that I have been working on stitching wise. It's obviously, you know, I've got a bunch of whips, but this is the one that I am solely focusing on right now. And maybe it doesn't look like there's much progress, but it feels like there's progress. I got piece 27 done. I am now working on piece 28. You may have seen a nice little fun stitch time lapse that I threw up. That was really fun and motivational to just sit down for an hour and stitch on this nonstop. So I don't know, maybe I'll do more of those. Let me know in the comments below if you liked it. Of course, let me know in the comments of the time-lapse video. Give it a thumbs up, thumbs down if you don't like it. That's fine too. Just to let me know if it's the type of content that you're interested in. So yeah, this is the light at the end of the tunnel. We've got 28, 29, and 30, and then this piece is done, and I cannot wait. I'm totally feeling like this is something that's achievable in 2021. We shall see. Feeling motivated on it right now, but that could easily change. And last but not least, I have a lot of finished and framed pieces since last time. My Crafty Bitch piece. This pattern is by the Stranded Stitch. I have a video coming out on how I do this type of framing with the ribbon on the side, so look forward to that. I really like how I found a frame that kind of brought out the blue and the flowers, and then when I realized that it was too small for a 5x7 frame but too big for a 4x6 frame, I kind of panicked and did my little trick of adding some excess fabric on there with ribbon. I really like how it turned out. And isn't that also like a great representation of being a crafty bitch? Like, oh my god, it's not gonna fit in my frame, let me whip up something to make it fit. I like it. This is another piece that you saw a while ago, and I just recently framed it. My little turret piece by my friend Petite Mushroom. I think it's very cute. I have a couple of portal themed pieces. I haven't decided yet where I'm going to put this guy. I did already have the black frame in my stash, so it was a very quick whipped up frame. And I think he looks good, just in a basic black frame, doesn't take anything away from the piece. And it just feels good to get some of these off of my to-do desk and into some frames, even if I don't actually put them on the wall for a while. Okay, I'm super excited about this next one. I failed my way into success. This piece is by Freudian Stitch. I had so much fun stitching this piece, and it turned out beautifully. I found just a basic black 8x8, I believe, frame. Fits perfectly and kind of encompasses my day job career. Love it. Gonna hang it somewhere in my office and just enjoy it. Next framed piece. Everything's Cheddar when we're together. So this and the next two pieces I framed up for my How to Frame a Cross Stitch video. I found these frames on an Etsy shop called The Rustic Roof, and I really love them. They're so pretty, hand painted. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep these in my crafting room or in my kitchen. I'm kind of leaning towards finding a home for them in my kitchen. I think they could be really cute down there. And you'll see in the next pieces, I tried to like correlate their little borders with their little frames. So like he's got a blue border and a green frame, and the next one has a green border in a purple frame. And then the next one has a purple border in a teal frame or blue frame, and the one before that had the blue border. So I don't know, it made sense in my brain. I don't know if I can hold all of these at the same time or not. Probably not. Maybe, but I think they look really cute. I also really enjoyed the fact that they're all different sizes. I think that makes them fun. feels like I've gotten so much done this month. Really gonna hone in on focusing on that happy little stitch along, so who knows what next month's Flosstube's gonna be like. That might be all I have to show you. But even if that is all that I have to show you, I still feel like that would be a success. I really want to finish that piece. Let me know what you've been working on this month down in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, happy stitching. And last but not least,